Hi, welcome to my channel. Folks, when coronavirus hit and sent our entire offices home, Skype, the app people used for nearly 2 decades to keep in touch via video, should have been the natural choice. But soon after lockdown was announced, Skype found itself out of sight and out of mind, replaced by an app half its age, Zoom. This is the story of what exactly happened and how Zoom managed to kill Skype. Skype's name was so synonymous with internet phone and video calls that Oxford Dictionary, in fact, added Skype as a word, acknowledging its stardom. Similar to brands like Google and Xerox, Skype had its humble beginnings in 2003 when Niklas Zennström and Janus Friis launched Skype along with a team of Estonian engineers. Their idea was clear: to democratize global communication by making voice calls cheap. 2 Skype users could converse for free via their computers. It was mind-blowing at that point in time. And for a low cost, Skype users could actually call a mobile or landline phone anywhere in the world. Skype users soared. A year later, in 2004, the company added audio conference capabilities and managed around 100,000 users. 2 years later, in January 2006, the brand added video conferencing. While Skype continued its growth trajectory, its management changed hands multiple times. It was acquired by eBay. But things didn't work out, and it was sold to an investor. This didn't help either. Finally, in 2011, Microsoft acquired Skype Technologies for a whopping $8.5 billion.
Today, Skype has been bought up by the technology giant Microsoft for a hefty $8.5 billion. The service has attracted more than 600 million users around the world, and the deal is seen as Microsoft's attempt to take on its chief rivals, Apple and Google. Here's how the company's boss announced the news.
This is a big day for Skype, and this is a big day for Microsoft. We're adding a new division and a new promise to our customers, the promise of universal next-generation communications. Microsoft and Skype together will bring together hundreds of millions, or as Tony said, billions.
Microsoft already had a VIP communication software built into its programs, but the purchase of Skype was a way to add Skype's cool factor to Microsoft's arsenal. While Microsoft was purchasing Skype, Eric Yuan was founding Zoom. After spending 13 years in Cisco's WebEx engineering group, he tried to convince their management to rebuild the WebEx video conferencing capability and improve it. But Cisco declined. Yuan left and mobilized 40 engineers to realize his own cloud-based video conferencing service. Yuan's vision for Zoom was clear: to build a robust technology foundation for the service that would make communication frictionless. And that's the mantra Zoom lives by. Within a month, Zoom had 400,000 users. By the end of 2013, the number had grown to 1 million. Like humans, brands succeed when they know who they are and how they want to be perceived. The who they are is the brand's purpose. The brand's attributes define how they want to be perceived. That's its personality. Zoom's underlying mission was to make video communication frictionless while keeping an unwavering eye on bringing joy to customers. Its goal from day one was to make Zoom meetings better than in-person meetings. Customers were at the front and center of every feature developed at Zoom, whereas for Skype, its identity crisis haunted it. By 2011, the peer-to-peer technology Skype was built on was showing its limits. User experience, long load times, browser windows filled with ads, and unpredictable updates derailed all users' meetings. Peer-to-peer technology also did not play well on smartphones. While Skype's initial purpose was to democratize global communication by making calls cheap, it was far from the only company doing that. In addition to Cisco's WebEx, Zoom, Apple FaceTime, and the newly launched Google Hangouts, users' choices were amazingly large. Skype's purpose had ceased, and it was unable to differentiate itself from its competitors. The brand needed to craft a new purpose for itself, a new vision, a new mission. But that didn't happen with Skype. On the other hand, Microsoft began transferring Skype from peer-to-peer technology to a cloud-based application in 2013. Unfortunately, it took years to complete this transition, which frustrated users and alienated them. And in this whole void, what did users do? They started associating Skype with adjectives such as wonky, unreliable, slow, and infuriating. Zoom's make communication frictionless purpose had led the team to invest 2 years in developing the foundation before the service was actually launched. This kept them focused as they grew. Zoom gained a reputation for being easy to use, easy to access, and reliable. You didn't even need an account or to download any software to use it. You could, in fact, do a 40-minute call for free. Non-tech users, especially during the pandemic, appreciated the single-click access it provided. Bringing goodness to the world has been the focus from day one, and Zoom's culture specifically centers on the happiness and care of its customers. Zoom's development team was well aware of the need for a universal app that worked well on multiple devices and platforms. That's why they prioritized enabling users to instantly use the service without sign-up or installation requirements. Only with a URL and a web browser, you could immediately join any video call. Maybe that's where Skype failed, because it didn't pay enough attention and lost sight of its customers' needs and convenience. As competitors continued to flood the market and improve their offerings, Skype's unreliable performance caused users to abandon it. Microsoft didn't know what to do with Skype. In the absence of a strategic brand identity, they still sought to be the cool kid in the group. In 2017, Microsoft redesigned Skype to look more like Snapchat. Neither effort helped users who just wanted reliable video conferencing. Cool was not an adjective users associated with the difficult app, so it never worked. Meanwhile, in 2016, Microsoft launched Teams, a unified communication and collaboration platform, and invested heavily in it, which did everything Skype could do, but better. In July 2019, Senior Product Manager James Frey announced that Skype for Business would cease to exist on July 31, 2021. Skype's demise was sealed before coronavirus hit. Once the pandemic arrived, many Skype users simply jumped to Zoom for its reliability and ease of use. First-time video conference users obviously went to Zoom as well. The moment that could have been Skype's glory went to Zoom instead. So, folks, how did Zoom manage to kill Skype? First, Zoom had a clear brand purpose. It was timeless and not product-dependent, making communication frictionless. Secondly, it had a clear product differentiator that was unique to its brand, not just a characteristic required in its category. That is, bringing joy to customers and making Zoom meetings better than in-person meetings. And there it is, the legacy of Skype. It went from being the first thing you think of when considering video conferencing to an app that sat out its biggest potential use case in human history. It's a timeless story of how there is always a chance for a newcomer to come in and beat the biggest name in the market, as long as they do things the right way. Just as Zoom did 3 things right: having a clear brand purpose, creating product differentiators that resonated with its target market, all while staying focused on the customer.